Ladies and gentlemen, there has been some breaking news. The Raiders are sending quarterback Geno Smith and a 2026 7th-round pick to the New York Jets in exchange for a 2026 6th-round pick. Per ESPN sources, Smith returns to the team for which he started his NFL career in 2013. He obviously knows the area. He knows the building. He knows the stripes. Does he know how to make that team a winner for the first time in a long time? I guess we shall see. Now, we were chit-chatting a little bit earlier about, hey, if he's not going to be on a roster, just cut him. You can always hang on and hope for a trade to take place. That has happened here. Let's head to the man who broke the news and kind of alluded to it earlier. Felt like he knew that what was coming down the pipe. I don't know if he knew it was a trade or not. Schefter, how did we get to a trade for Geno back to the Jets?
Okay, listen, here's the deal, Pat. First of all, we have more breaking news, which we'll get to in a moment. But essentially, the Jets know that Geno's going to be released, and it's a situation where they got into discussions with the Raiders. Jets have all these extra picks, so they're flipping picks, and now the Jets get to lock in Geno Smith. Geno Smith also is going to restructure his contract with the Jets, so they get him, again, on a deal where they'll be helped out. It won't be the existing contract. It's going to be restructured. That's done as well, so Geno Smith now will be returning to the Jets. One other piece of breaking news here. Romeo Doubs is going to Connor's Patriots.
Wow.
There we go. Wow. More breaking news. So the former Packers wide receiver had a choice of places to go and has decided to go to the New England Patriots.
How many different places did he have? Like, can you give us like a rough estimate?
I think in the end he had a lot, but he whittled it down, and in the end there were a couple of teams left.
Okay, a couple of teams left, one of them being the Patriots. Patriots, we had heard and thought through Connor's existence, maybe A.J. Brown gets traded up there because of how close he is with Vrabel. Does this completely rule out the A.J. Brown?
No, I don't think it rules it out, but certainly I think it diminishes the importance that a trade needs to happen. I think it gives the Patriots a little bit of flexibility. It adds another receiver to their room. They needed more help there. They're going to get Romeo Doubs here now.
Super Bowl last year. First year as Vrabel head coach. Second year Drake May at quarterback. How do you feel about the pickup of Doubs? Obviously, we watch very closely through Ty Schmidt's Green Bay Packers season.
Yeah, very excited, especially because of how massive his head looks in the Guardian cap. I think it'll only look bigger in New England. It's great just because he's been a number one wide receiver. You know, with the Packers, they had Watson for a little, but he was kind of in and out of injuries, and sometimes it was really only Doubs being Jordan Love's target. Him, I believe Mac Hollins still there. Kyle Williams will go into his second year. Very interested to see what the contract is, but hearing Schefter also say, hey, this doesn't rule out A.J. Brown, that's huge. Just adding to the room, though. They added to the pass rush and the edge with Draymond Jones yesterday. Then they did Elijah Vera-Tucker for the O-line, and now they're doing a receiver. They're kind of checking off all the big issue boxes that the Patriots had towards the end of the season. Huge get bringing in Romeo Doubs.
I mean, that Guardian cap is gigantic, but the plays he makes are also special. Doubs was a hell of a player for the Packers.
Yeah, he's so good. It's different types of wide receivers. We talked about the Mike Evans types where it doesn't matter how much space he creates. He's always open because of his size and his catch radius. Doubs can make the tough catches, but he also creates space down after down. So that's the biggest thing with wide receivers. The best ones that we see, they consistently create space. So when you got a quarterback and an offensive play caller like Josh McDaniels, like this is a great pairing for Romeo Doubs in his next chapter of his career. I'm happy for him, too. I know he was dealing with some shit off the field a couple of years ago, so I love to see him getting his bag that he earned, and obviously he's a great young player.
Yeah, I'm loving ball again. It's great to see him out there having fun. He's a real talent. Joining us in the AFC East, got a new problem. Connor McGovern, who center for the Buffalo Bills. Thank you for dodge, duck, dip, diving, and dodging with us through some news breaks. We might have to do that again. Last question for you here from Darius J. Butler. We're all big fans, Connor. Thank you for hanging. Is that a big-ass bison behind you? It is. I like that.
Of course.
Okay, D-Bud has a question for you, Connor.
You got a new head coach now with Joe Brady, but you're obviously very familiar with him. I felt like once he took over play calling, that run game took off. James Cook obviously led the league in rushing last year. What's your favorite part about Joe Brady's run game, and what is your favorite run play? I remember that Steelers game. I feel like you guys ran duo 30 times in a row. So, yeah, kind of a two-parter for me.
Yeah, no, I remember 2 years ago when he took over halfway through the year, he just said, we're going back to the basics. We're going to establish the line of scrimmage up front. And we took that as a challenge up front. And I think he did a great job just trusting us and talking with Aaron Cromer all the time. Like, hey, what do we like here? What runs do we like? And he's not afraid just to keep dialing up the same thing over and over, as you saw in the Pittsburgh game. Yeah. Running duo, mid-zone, just over and over and over again. And just taking opponent's will to play. And that's what we feed off up front. But overall, I'd say that duo play is my favorite. Just blocking back on a monster across from me, just holding off and just letting it run front side.
Yeah, and you did it 22 straight. I forget.
I think it was more like 26 or 8.
Yeah,
So.
that does feel good. That
Yeah,
felt
I
like
think altogether we ran 20-some times that game, and that was by far our most fun game. And we're out 2 starting offensive linemen.
it was by far the most fun game. We were having so much fun. It felt like Pop Warner. You know, made us go back to
That
the
coaching
days.
staff's going. Okay.
What's that?
What?
New team,
Yeah.
new turf.
Bingo. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what you need. All right, we appreciate you joining us and bobbing through there. The bison above your shoulder there. What do you know?
Yes.
Do you know the dimensions of that actual bison? Do you know what the dimensions are of that one? If you had a
I
perspective.
personally do not know.
What about the stadium ones?
Yeah.
Stadium ones are going to be big. I know that.
How big?
How do you
Everybody's
know?
saying
Have you had
that.
eyes on these things?
big?
Have you had eyes on these things?
I'm not saying anything more than that. Just I know.
Whoa, secretive shit going on up there. Hey, that's how tight that camaraderie is. This guy's whipping
Yep,
pies for
exactly.
8 hours
Tight-
on
tight
Fridays
half.
for the boys.
How many Connor McGoverns are the Bison?
Yeah, it's a good call. Good question.
20.
How many pizzas?
Ooh, I bet a bison could put away a lot of pizza. A lot.
Especially yours.
We would love to have one. Maybe put it in the backyard and just feed a pizza and see how long
That'd be
it goes.
sick.
Oh, you're living good up there. Bison in the backyard, 32 million guaranteed for a center. You're the man. Ladies and gentlemen, the center for the Buffalo Bills, Connor McGovern.
Yeah, Connor.
Congrats, Connor. Thank you. This guy's making pizzas for 8 hours for the boys.
That's awesome.
That's unbelievable culture. That's
On a Friday?
on a
Not
Friday. Fast Friday, we get in, get out. Everybody, offensive linemen, too.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, guys, wait till you see what I got tonight. We're adding a little extra salt to this damn dough.
Steak and cheese.
Whipping it. You guys want to come out a couple beers, 2, 3 o'clock? I'll be in the middle of trying to get this 14th batch going. 30 pizzas.
Crazy.
8 hours. Love everything about it. Romeo Dobbs' deal is expected to be 4 years, $70 million
just a great
with
deal.
the New England Patriots. Let's head over to the free agency friend zone with Orlovsky and Schrags. Schrags, big deal here for Dobbs on day 2.
Sure is. And, they don't have Stephon Diggs anymore. You insert Romeo Dobbs, and that's going to be a big expectation for him to step up. Look, Todd Downing is the wide receivers coach in New England, longtime NFL coach. I have to think, Orlovsky, you were in a
TD. I know
Todd
TD
Downing
well.
offense at one point. His best pal in coaching, a guy that he was with the Jets, is a guy named Nathaniel Hackett, and you know him well. Who was up there in Green Bay the last season watching Dobbs on a day-to-day basis? It was obviously Hackett. So there's absolutely someone who can vouch for him. Here's the deal with the Patriots. Everyone is still looking at A.J. Brown as this big fish. But in the meantime, over the nighttime, they went and got Elijah Vera-Tucker, who, when healthy, is still a very good offensive guard. And they pick up Romeo Dobbs, who last year showed that he could be a mature NFL player and still be able to get it done. Darius Butler mentioned it earlier. He was suspended for a game by Matt LaFleur and said, hey, just take some time, man. Like, figure out, this is 2 years ago. And it was like immaturity issues. You hear all these things about personal stuff in his life, whatever.